at 2 a.m. No, I'm ready, man. Time क्या है? पहनने के लिए कंफर्टेबल है मेरी मर्जी अब तो अपना दूसरा excuse me सारे सही से क्या कैसे कर सकते इतना फ्रीकी क्यों है भाई मेरे साथ उसको मारते अगर एसी ऑन करो यही वाला बटन है ये वाली एसी वही पूछ रहा हूँ ये वाला बटन है फर्स्ट पहला कलर का ये ना राइट साइड से फर्स्ट ये उसका है दूसरे साइड से ये एसी ऑन कर 6 गर्मी होगी लाइट स्टार्ट हो रहा है जस्ट पहले मैं जैसे दिख के आया काम आ गया ये पूरा किसको बिठा दिया ओ गला को किधर बोला कुछ तो दे दो यार ये खाओ वो तो बैठने नहीं सकता काम के लिए वो तो नहीं बोल रहे आपने आईडी के लिए देखा ना आईडी है बट उसका तो वो सिर्फ खोल के है आप वो दे दो ना वो दे दो ना इनको बना वो नहीं उसका वही पर से कट हो गया प्लीज हेलो फैमिली क्या आपने आंसर देखा नहीं हो रहा आपको तो ऑलरेडी मेरा आंसर तो एक ही है उससे पहले करना है आंसर after doing that calculation you are also going to pay exactly okay so we have to start the project and topic
Okay. The videos are there. Watch those videos carefully. Okay. Then you have to come forward and explain. Okay, ma'am. Listen carefully. Watch it carefully. Okay, okay. देखती हूँ तुम्हारा okay, okay. Okay.
Good night.
आप ये करो मैम व्हाट्सएप से शेयर कर दो और स्क्रीन पे मिनिमाइज करके रख लो बच्चे लोग कर देंगे आप आपका लॉग आउट ठीक है ना सीखने में से बच्चों को ज्यादा पता है ना और ये ऑनलाइन वाले से शेयर करें वेरी स्मार्ट साया हो गया
Part आया
and then another boy
और आया निशान absent
absent है मतलब
absent है absent
today only on Monday he is going out part and then another boy हाँ निशान तो आया था सैटरडे मनस्वी आई थी
आज कौन गया है क्या?
पार्थ आया था
आज मनस्वी गया मैम
मनस्वी पार्थ अभी आया है?
नहीं
आज कोई नहीं गया?
वो तो
अरे बॉस ने
क्या करते
व्हाट्सएप पे लिंक कर दे आज ऊपर फर्स्ट वन आवाज
Hello, scientists. Welcome back. Hold on. Okay. Welcome back to another. Let's try this again. I thought that we've been talking. Pollution comes from burning fossil fuel to generate electricity. Remember to turn off your light and unplug any devices in order to save electricity. Less power used means less needs to be generated. One of things individuals can do to combat pollution is to use, reuse, and recycle. Also known as we're learning all about that in our next lesson.
Ready start
क्या?
नहीं वो करेगा मैम उनका पता है बच्चों को ब्रेक कैमरा टू ना
हाँ एक ग्राफिक
स्वस्तिका मिश्रा
Yes, ma'am.
can you see the screen
Yes, ma'am.
आवाज भी आ रहा है
हाँ वो बराबर से क्या चीज कर करो शेयर आपका फोन
मैं ये व्हाट्सएप वाला में डिलीट करती हूँ
skip the one
वो है मिनिमाइज किया है यस चेक व्हाट पीपल
share हो रहा है
इस ब्लॉक का जो कैसे
मैंने मिनिमाइज किया
है
चलो 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 बेटा don't waste your time we have to complete this topic in 2 lectures yeah
इसमें था लिखे अरे escape दबाया ना फिर माने से ग्राउंड पे है नीचे और उसको स्क्रीन शेयर कर देखो पे कैसे escape हो रहा है आ रहा है कोई सब मिनिमाइज कर दे ठीक रहेगा उसको बोलिए हाइट लगती
Hey there, fellow scientists. Welcome back.
will you come
Hold on. Okay. Welcome back to another. Try this again. I thought since we've been talking about Earth's resources lately, it'd be nice to film this lesson at my local park. All this trash keeps plumping into my frame. How am I supposed to talk about pollution with all this litter around? Oh. At the end of today's lesson, we'll be able to identify some of the causes and impacts of pollution. We'll also be able to explain some ways we can reduce pollution. Let's get into it.
Thanks.
Pollution is the introduction of harmful materials called pollutants into the environment. Pollutants can be natural, like carbon dioxide or soot, fires, but they can also be artificial, like human-made chemicals or garbage. We call litter when it's left to clutter up natural and public spaces. Litter and other types of pollution are more than just annoying when you're trying to fill the lesson. Pollution can also be extremely harmful. All living things depend on our natural resources like air, water to survive. When the health of those resources is harmed by pollution, all forms of life are threatened. Have you ever witnessed litter or other types of pollution? Pause the video here and describe your experience in your guided notes. You may wonder, if pollution is so harmful, why don't we just stop polluting? Well, it's a little more complicated than it first seems. Many of the human activities that create pollution are things we depend on in our daily lives. Vehicles that get us where we need to go emit pollutants. Factories that make important products like medicine, eyeglasses, create pollutants. And farms that the food we need to live, fertilizers to enrich the soil and produce healthy crops, which, when used in excess, can pollute the ground and water. As you can see, pollution is a complex problem. It's important to understand pollution and its causes and effects so we can work to fix it. Take a deeper look at two specific types of pollution: air pollution and water pollution. Air pollution is the presence of pollutants in the air. Sometimes air pollution is visible, like dark smoke puffing out of vehicles or factories. More often, though, pollutants in the air are invisible. The number one source of air pollution comes from burning fossil fuels. You know, those non-renewable resources like coal, oil, and natural gas. For example, many vehicles are powered by burning gasoline, which is made from oil. This releases carbon monoxide, a harmful gas, into the air, along with many other pollutants. Areas with large numbers of cars and factories, such as cities, may even develop smog. Smog is a thick fog or haze of air pollution. Smog can make your eyes burn, cause difficulty breathing, and can lead to serious health issues over time. Although consequences like these are more common in areas like cities, air pollution is not just a local issue. Wind and air currents can carry pollutants long distances, which makes preventing air pollution a global issue. The good news is, if we decide to take action, the effects of air pollution can be improved. For example, in the 1980s, a hole in a part of our atmosphere called the ozone layer was discovered. Scientists determined that chlorofluorocarbons, a type of pollutant found in products like hairspray and refrigerators at the time, the cause of the hole in the ozone layer. Many governments acted quickly, banning the use of these harmful chemicals. Because of that action, the hole in the ozone layer is on track to be fully healed in the next few decades. This example shows us how taking decisive action It has a huge impact in the fight against pollution.
सारा पूरा chemistry.
Another type of pollution of global concern is water pollution. When any body of water, freshwater streams to the ocean, is polluted. Some polluted water can look murky with visible pollutants like garbage, but polluted water can also look clean depending on the type of pollutants in the water. Often, water pollution begins on land. When it rains, the water carries loose soil, chemicals from farms and lawns like fertilizers, and even trash into rivers, lakes, and oceans. This is called runoff. Chemicals in runoff can be extremely harmful to the health of water ecosystems. Plastic waste is a major contributor to water pollution. Plastic, which is made from oil, can take hundreds, even thousands of years to break down, which means it often ends up in the ocean. This can harm animals such as fish or birds that get caught in the plastic waste, or sea turtles that eat plastic bags, escaping them for jellyfish. Water pollution is a serious problem we've been working to improve on for years. For example, in the 1970s, the US government enacted the Clean Water Act. This law regulated pollutants being put into bodies of water, set water quality standards, and aimed to make all waters safe for fishing and swimming. Since then, Clean Water Act has led to significant improvements in water quality across the US, cleaning once polluted waters. However, with many water bodies still suffering from pollution, we must remain diligent in our effort to clean the world's water. Because pollution is a problem that affects the whole planet, governments around the world are continuing to make agreements and policies that limit the amount of pollution their countries produce. There's a lot of work left to do on a large scale, but individuals can also have a big impact on combating the effects of pollution. Here are just a couple of small ways you can make a big difference. To prevent trash from reaching oceans and waterways, enlist the help of some friends and neighbors to pick up any litter you can find around your neighborhood. Every bit helps. Emissions from cars are a big source of air pollution. You can help by making choices that keep cars off the road. Ride your bike when you can, organize a carpool, or take public transportation like buses and trains. Shopping locally also reduces air pollution by limiting how far products need to travel. Shopping at farmers markets and stores local to you can help fight pollution. A lot of pollution comes from burning fossil fuels to generate electricity. Remember to turn off your lights and unplug any devices in order to save electricity. Less power used means less needs to be generated. One of the most important things individuals can do to combat pollution is to reduce, reuse, and recycle, also known as the 3 R's. We'll be learning all about that in our next lesson. Which of these tips will you use to help fight pollution? Can you think of any other ways individuals can help? Pause the video here and record your thoughts in your guided notes. Let's review everything we've learned today. Pollution is the introduction of harmful materials called pollutants into the environment. Most pollution is caused by human activities such as burning fossil fuels. Pollution can have extremely harmful effects on ecosystems and the environment, but a lot can be done to combat its effects. To learn more about pollution, be sure to check out the activities and practice questions that go with this lesson. I got some friends to help me clean up the park. With all this help, we'll get into it in no time. Remember, science is all around us. See you next time.
दूसरा दोष है What's going on? Yeah, नहीं होता नहीं होता कोई एक्सपीरियंस नहीं होता है हाँ हाँ वो तो रहा है वो तो एक्सपीरियंस नहीं होता है कोई 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 एक्सपीरियंस नहीं होता
छोड़ना चला अपने लोगों से पूछ लो वो तो मुझे टैग ही नहीं करते हैं वही ना माफी
हुआ कैसे
मिश्रा मिश्रा क्या हो गया बेटा आपको ऑन करो
इसको पूछ रहा हूँ बताइए ना
हेलो अगर कोई नहीं किसी पर है ये बनेगा ऐसे बता देगा
Get free. This is so much hair. Air is all around us. Humans aren't the only ones that rely on it. Air around us. Without it, none of us could survive. The air is made up of different gases. One of the gases, oxygen, is what helps us to breathe. But did you know that our air needs to be clean? When your hands and face are dirty, you can easily clean them with soap and water. But when the air becomes dirty, it's not as easy to clean. When there is dirt and other substances in the air that shouldn't be there, it's called air pollution. Air pollution is made up of odors, particles, smoke, fumes, and other substances which can be harmful for all living creatures, including us. The substances causing the air to become dirty are called pollutants. Some examples of pollutants include gases with harmful chemicals in them, sand, dust particles, and other materials that evaporate and become pollutants. It is impossible for us to not breathe in these pollutants in the air since they exist all around us. Pollution can travel with the wind from one place to another and spread over many miles. When the air becomes polluted or unclean, it affects the Earth's atmosphere. The atmosphere is like a blanket of air which protects all life. Without the atmosphere, life could not exist. The atmosphere protects living organisms from the heat of the sun during the day, and at night it prevents most of the heat from escaping. Basically, the atmosphere helps keep the living things on Earth from becoming too hot or too cold. The pollution in the air affects this blanket and can become harmful to life on Earth if it raises the Earth's temperature by trapping too much heat inside. Pollution can be caused naturally. Natural pollution may come from volcanoes, forest fires, windstorms, pollen in the air, and other sources in nature. Even the air we breathe out, carbon dioxide, is a form of pollution. And did you know that gas that cows and other animals release pollutes the air too? Wow! If you have ever gone outside when there's a large fire burning in the spot, probably notice the darkness in the air, even if it's in the middle of the day. You might notice that your eyes begin to burn and your throat becomes irritated too. Sometimes there will even be alerts on the news telling us that the air is harmful to breathe that day. That means the pollutants in the air have increased and it's not safe for people to go outside. Or if they have to work outside, they shouldn't stay outside for very long. This is because the pollutants in the air can affect our bodies negatively. Our lungs need clean air to breathe. When they breathe in dirty air, the dirt gets trapped in our lungs, making it dirty as well. Then it can be very healthy like those cleans by pulling into the dirty air. Rain and snow can wash the dirt out of the air too. Sometimes it's caused by something in nature. Sometimes it's caused by humans. Most cars,
So
buses,
the is clear, air pollution is maybe natural, it may be man-made,
gasoline.
okay? Man-made air pollution or the natural, we cannot avoid it.
Gas,
We cannot-
that's being burned in the
Some
air.
For example, due to volcano eruption, can you stop that? It is naturally occurring process, right now. So it is.
Happens when smoking fumes from factories, gasoline and power plants release poisonous gases like carbon monoxide into our atmosphere. Another way our air is made is through chemicals that reduce radon that are sprayed. These chemicals get rid of the bugs crawling on seeds. Some plants help their plants and gardens grow. You might think that we should shut all of those factories down so they'll stop polluting our air. Factories produce electricity, which gives us light and power that we use every day. And most things we buy from factories, like our clothes, our food, our toys and cars, etc. Now that we know what air pollution is, what are some of the effects of air pollution on our environment? When rain becomes mixed with pollution in the air, we get something called acid rain. Acid rain can cause harm to trees, animals, fish, and other organisms. But pollutants in our air also make it harder. Air pollution can cause breathing problems for some people. Maybe you have heard of someone who has asthma, or maybe you do. Air pollution can be a big problem. Everybody struggles with it. It can affect our lives by causing or allergic reactions. Most of those effects will go away when the air clears out, or even if you go inside. But some effects of air pollution can cause health problems for a long time, like lung cancer and heart disease. Air pollution can seem a little scary. We live in a world that is hurting. There's something. Guess what? There is. There is a list of things we can all do to help lessen the amount of pollution as we release this into our air. Reduce fireplaces. Keep a car running while you're waiting for something or something. Don't smoke. The tree. It's one thing. But we all do our.
And the parents are coming with it.
Thanks for watching.
और ये इसका आपका टेस्ट ओके तो हो गया टेस्ट ओवर प्रॉपर को सेट लॉग आउट स्टार्ट
This smash.
It's nice sometimes. The kind of comes for the knowledge.
That shows the
Okay, now go to our class. क्या हो गया?
Close कर दे नहीं होगा अरे लिखा तो do not close the window.
Do not close this.
हाँ ठीक है उसको बैकग्राउंड में चलने देना. अरे first of all.
Okay, that's what. Check. Thank you. Thank you. Right. Just a random baby for you. Because. Yeah, hey, all right. चलो क्या क्या देखा वीडियो में what you understood or nothing you understood was only one side video. Overall this topic is divided into two parts. First part it is completely based on the air pollution. Second part is also air pollution but it is in the form of warming effect gases. Okay, first part wala video is a plain hai. So what is air pollution or what is meaning of pollution? Of harmful bacteria It is only about bacteria. Substance. Pollutants. Undesirable pollutants in the surrounding. It's nothing but pollution. It is toxic for health. Okay, for human health as well as for the growth of the plant. In short, if you go with any type of the gas, it is harmful for plants as well as for animals. So in different way, it affect our system. It may be eye, it may be our respiratory system, throat, lungs, or it may cause cancer also. Okay, so again in this topic, acid rain concept is explained. Do you have any idea of acid rain? क्या है acid rain? Again bacteria, acid rain.
Acid is medium.
Wait. Acid rain.
Even industrial areas, when there's a release of harmful gases which goes and mixes with the air, and after the air
बराबर है.
pressure which causes acid rain and harmful for the plant.
Now acid rain is basically of which acids? आपने आंसर दिया है ठीक है, but it is not with examples, ना? acid rain. चल.
फालतू की बकवास करता बैठा है.
See, when we will go for the higher that is the then your college will arrange some of the functions, some of the activities in the school. In that activity, debate is a one activity. And let me talk. Debate, it is not a fight. It is not a fight, but what you are doing as per me is a fight. Because every time it is happening. Unnecessarily every time you estimate this is fight. Okay, chalo. Acid rain. Complete that class. Sulfur. Sulfur dioxide. Okay, sulfur dioxide is causing acid rain or sulfur dioxide is present in the rainwater.
Present. So, और भी carbon dioxide.
Which acid is produced? Yeah, boys. We are on acid rain. We have carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide, and no other acid. This is responsible for acid rain. We are discussing about acid rain. As which two acids or which acids are responsible for acid rain? Carbon monoxide.
Sulfur
dioxide.
मेरे को तो पता नहीं. So mainly acid rain is due to presence of nitric acid or sulfuric acid. Okay, and in the rainwater it contain either nitric acid or sulfuric acid. Remember these two acids, nitric acid or sulfuric acid. Now how rainwater is converted into nitric acid? जैसे इससे बोला industrial gas निकलता है, मतलब तो ऐसा पूरा mechanism क्या? This mechanism is like this. In short, whenever it is thunderstorm, when two clouds are dashing with each other, the gas which is moved out or which is given out, it is nitrogen oxide. Nitrogen oxide, it comes in the contact with atmospheric oxygen, it forms nitrogen dioxide. This nitrogen dioxide gets dissolved in the rainwater and come in the form of acid rain. Similarly, sulfur, atmospheric sulfur, it is first converted into sulfur dioxide, then into sulfur trioxide, and sulfur trioxide get absorbed by the rainwater and finally it comes out in the form of acid rain. So जब आपको acid rain का पूछेंगे, तो which two acids are present? Nitric acid and sulfuric acid. In short, in our volume or in your textbook, short explanations are given. Now, if it is acid rain is happening, whether this acid rain is good for our growth और for the growth of plants ये किसी के लिए भी ठीक नहीं है. ओके, इवन द मॉन्यूमेंट आ गया ताजमहल, उसका क्या कंडीशन हो गया? It is due to the acid rain. ओके, ये वाला क्वेश्चन नहीं, ये वाला क्वेश्चन ना find out that here and let me know also. But because of acid rain it's converting here. Because the acid rain it is happening and in that particular belt there are more industrial areas. There are more factories. So percentage of this one, nitrogen, sulfur, it is automatically high. और एरिया में पॉल्यूशन भी ज्यादा है. If you see the news now, in winters it is like a chemical chamber. देखो जरा न्यूज, low temperature और this pollution rate is very high. It has started from Diwali. Pollution बढ़ते जा रहे हैं, winters में ज्यादा रहता है. Okay, so first thing, what is pollution? Acid rain. Then smog, one code term is given in your book. SMOG. What is this smog?
Fog plus smoke.
Fog plus smoke. Both are combined together. And what is color of that thing? Dark, dark. Okay, it is very dark cloud-like.
जैसे दिखता नहीं है.
And it counts as
मैंने कुछ बोला
Wow, every time.
मैं बोल सकता हूँ. मैंने बोला कुछ आज मैं अपनी बेस्ट
मत कुछ बोल.
एक नाम में भी जैसे चल बोलती है.
हाथ पकड़े ना.
Okay, चलो. So smog it is mixture of two components. Which are those two components? Smog and smoke. And due to this a dark cloud-like structure is formed, which is again harmful and it create visibility होता है उसके presence में. visibility होता है. आंखें जल बराबर आंखें जलती है.
गले में होता है.
फिर ये भी होता है. नोज में प्रॉब्लम, ब्रीदिंग में प्रॉब्लम
That system, complete system, eyes, nose, throat, lungs, right now.
प्रॉब्लम होती है.
हाँ, सब यहाँ पे प्रॉब्लम होती है. eyes, nose,
हाथ पकड़े ना.
Yeah, I'm saying my head is
hold on.
और कौन सा पॉइंट और मैंने आप लोग चलो और क्या कहोगे आप?
और एक होगा कि वाटर पोल्यूशन
वाटर पोल्यूशन के बारे में बताया था. What was that?
रेनफॉल से होता है.
Rainfall से होता है.
पहली बार भी.
चलो वाटरफॉल की वजह से होता है. और
ये भी होता है जब वोल्केनोस का क्या होता है, मैग्मा लावा जो पानी में गिरता है.
हाँ. Lava, it is due to volcanic eruption, gases are released, forest fire, deforestation, also increases air pollution, earthquakes and industrial waste, creating water pollution, air pollution and whether hospital waste is creating any type of pollution. Yes. Our focus is on next week is that. And so the pollution.
pollution.
Factory. How factory is creating pollution?
Automobiles.
Automobiles and
Industries, factories. और fertilizer, using of fertilizers. Soil में जाता है.
हाँ.
दस्ता हो जाता है.
सॉइल में डालते हैं वो गंदा हो जाता है एक्चुअली व्हेन वी आर
अरे वाह,
फर्टिलाइजर्स ना
जब हम लोग फर्टिलाइजर डालते हैं क्रॉप्स में तो जब बारिश होती है जिस तरह सॉइल में तो फर्टिलाइजर है तो फ्लो करके नियर पॉन्ड्स पे जगह पे जा जाता है जिससे वो पानी कंटामिनेट अच्छा नहीं रहता है।
अच्छा but tell me one thing that fertilizer they are washed away with the rainwater. They are going
वो
to get
collected
collected
नहीं
at some places and there also they will work like a fertilizer only ना.
नहीं हाँ मतलब केमिकल
उनमें और ही तो गंदगी रहती है वो सारा पानी का केमिकल लगे
हाँ वाटर पॉल्यूशन की बात हो रही है फायदे की बात नहीं हो रही।
तो नुकसान की बात हो रही है
हाँ केमिकल्स सॉइल में डिसॉल्व होगा लेकिन वाटर में मिल जाएगा ना वही ना मैम
अच्छा आपको
वाटर से गंदा पानी
Oh, that is one thing. And excess use of fertilizer, it increases the basic property of the soil. It increases the pH value. वही तो नहीं. If you are saying it is washed away with the rainwater, it is washed away. It is
नहीं,
collected somewhere.
वाटर पॉल्यूशन की बात कर रही है सॉइल पॉल्यूशन की नहीं।
दो चीजें. Two things are
और क्या हो सकता है
and any other type of pollution.
ये है ना
Say, gobar gas plants we are using, having spent. अच्छा, okay, thank you ma'am. ये बंद नहीं हुआ था ना, चलिए रहना.
आपने फोन भी सदमा लग गया
मुझे भी ऐसे ही लगता है सदमा लग गया हो. But actually it was not working. हमने reset भी करके देखा. Right? Maybe because of sensitive conversation. Okay. और
मेरे पास फोन पे मुझे नहीं पता बस फोन का टेलीफोन बट
हाँ चलो sources of pollution.
noise pollution के पास
Noise pollution we don't have. We have air pollution. So next class. Then everyone one AC time you say now 26. Inside. Solution I will. Once upon a time, block your purple.
कितना बड़ा चाकू है हो गया पता ही है सब क्या होता है मतलब पोजीशन से और
Question is axis, right? Composition or air pollution. So whatever you know, you have to manifest it. Points I read. Natural sources of air pollution. You know which are the natural sources of air pollution, and we cannot stop that because naturally it is happening. What is pollution? What are pollutants? What is smoke? That you all know. Then man-made pollution, man-made pollution is due to factories, industry. It may be due to household activity. It may be due to automobiles. Okay, this all are man-made pollution. Then specifically air pollution. So gas is getting polluted. The gases are sulfur dioxide, hydrogen sulfide, nitrogen oxide. Then cotton dust, smog. This all are the materials which causes the air pollution. Oxide of nitrogen as air pollutant. So if you are going with the oxide of nitrogen as an air pollution, first thing you should remember plant growth and adverse effect on the health. And next one, which causes acidity.
And radiation, we can count to nuclear
Radiations. Even this phone, it is emitting radiations. It is not in use. It is not in use. Even now it is on. Radiations. Right?
उनका काम रहता है पर आपको
तुम अगर सारे 4-4 घंटे यूज करोगे रिवर्स से इधर थोड़ा कम रहता है. Okay. Then harmful effect of two oxides of nitrogen. Again, harmful effect. You are saying health and plan everywhere. This is common. Health and plan. So remember this. Compounds of sulfur as a pollutant. So compound of sulfur as a pollutant, sulfuric acid, and how does it affect? Again, health and plants. Health बोलोगे eyes, nose, throat, lungs. And sometimes it may causes headache, nausea. These are also effects of
the eyes.
Next thing, carbon monoxide as a pollutant. So carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide. Oh. Okay, so how can we control pollution created by this?
By using public transport or vehicles. Yeah.
Wait, हाँ बता रहे हैं हाँ
अलग अलग कार्ड के डिपार्टमेंट सेम ही जगह पे जाना तो एक कार्बन
So for that I have to make my network. Who is coming on my?
कोई तो दोस्त रहेगा ही कोई दोस्त फैमिली से
दोस्त क्यों है यार? हाँ दोस्त से भड़ के भी
Okay. हो गया? Next class ना? हम लोग वैसे भी आप बहुत बोलते रहते हो बहुत अच्छा
हम उसको आगे बढ़ा
नहीं आगे में discuss acid rain and global warming gases with chemicals.
अभी आपको सब कुछ बोला मैं ही बोलती हूँ
Global warming.
इसमें कुछ बोला
Global warming. Okay. So what are the different control measures for air pollution? How you can control it? तो उसने बोला.
पब्लिक ट्रांसपोर्ट सीएफसी का कम यूज करने का
What is that CFC?
सीएफसी और
Where it is present? Minimize the use of. Then.
कार मत या
अरे वो तो
इतना बोलेगा
Then.
कितना
और बोलो.
और
Why you saying like this?
अरे मैम उसको ऐसा लग रहा है वैसे एक्ट कर रहे हैं कि इसको मेरे को मारने का है पर वो बोल रहे हैं मैं किससे कंट्रोल करने के लिए पकड़ में
Okay. मेरे मुझे control measures. I want control measures.
ठीक हो गया ना
अभी हो.
ठीक है
क्यों हो?
और चौथा ये इसको हटा दो दुनिया से
No.
साफ बोला
Answer देना तो ठीक से दे दो. I don't say it. उसको ने तुम्हारे आगे से आप बताओ कंट्रोल मेजर्स. मिश्रा है क्या?
दोस्त
your दोस्त है? मिश्रा नहीं है ना? हाँ चलो बताओ. Composition only discuss. आपको जाना है? Then
शायद से लोकल से नहीं हुए
नाम का लॉग आउट नहीं हो गया है तो कर देते और
कितने ब्रेक
control measures for everyone.
आप बोलो
हाँ बोलो.
यूज लेस ऑटोमोबाइल और अभी आप क्या हुआ क्या हो तो बताओ
ना प्लास्टिक अगर यूज कम करें क्योंकि मोस्ट प्लास्टिक ना प्लास्टिक को बर्न कर देते हैं तो उसे रीयूज
यूज पेपर बैग्स
अरे चुपका दो
पेपर क्या?
अगर हम
प्लास्टिक से
प्लास्टिक
अरे एक बोल.
अगर हम प्लास्टिक बैग या कुछ कैसा प्लास्टिक का यूज नहीं करेंगे तो हम लोग को इस बर्न नहीं करना
प्लास्टिक में यूज करना
प्लास्टिक नहीं करना चाहिए because plastic it is again polythene chemical decomposition does not happen. You have to burn it and burning create pollution.
और pollution, ये pollution है. इसको और बंद किया तो और pollution.
We are not supposed to drink water with
प्लास्टिक नहीं
water.
होना चाहिए.
Metal वाला bottle और thermos water.
मेटल अलाउड है. अरे क्यों नहीं अलाउड है? मैं लेके जाता हूँ. जो बोलेगा मां.
हाँ, इसलिए allowed. Understood? इसलिए allowed. In that case, you can carry the small metal bottle, ना? क्योंकि तुम्हें बड़ा नहीं लेके जाना है, इतना बड़ा. हमारा बड़ा वाला है. I have small. Small can hardly 250. So every time I used to reach it, that's what I was doing. हो जाता है ना कैरी करने के लिए. So better use small size bottles. हाँ, minimizing uses. हाँ, reduce recycle use करना चाहिए. हाँ, 3 R's we have to use. Recycle, reuse. 3 R's use करना. And
recycle, reduce, reuse. Right?
next period. Next period.
Expected to manage
Next week you all are coming. Next week you all are coming. For your exam. Erika, you will come.
पर मेजॉरिटी नहीं आती तो क्या
नहीं होता कैंसिल हो जाएगा. हाँ आप हम लोग को नहीं करते नहीं.
35
अरे हम खा सकते हैं. जा सकते हैं.
35 हो अभी तक.
हम जा सकते हैं.
अरे वो राहुल से छोड़ देते हैं उसमें नहीं होगा क्या.
See, छोड़ो इसमें अपना इतना एनर्जी वेस्ट करना.
Once upon a time, long ago.
Once upon a time, long. पहले करना है इसलिए मतलब once upon a time, long ago, at make sense. How do you change?
पहले मेरा बोलते हैं.
अच्छी बात है. Good. Make good resolution and more content. Next year you will be in 10th standard.
बेस्ट चीज आपको पता है क्या. मतलब हमें अलग करने की बात कर रहे हो.
So then next year and now next year.
And 10 rupees taxi.
Okay ma'am.
Next year.
Thank you for the 10 bucks.
अरे ना हो गया 30 हो गया.
Darling, what do you think it is because of this button?
बड़े को लगता है ना अभी नया फोन ले ले. 17 Pro Max ना
और कुछ
वो लगता है.
आपको जैसे तो मेरा काम है खाली देखना है क्या है.
हाँ 30 हो गया.
मेरे को लगता है उसका स्विच में आपका डबल टैप से होता है. डबल टैप से अपना वो ऑफ करो. नहीं ऑफ करो उसको स्पीड पर डबल टैप करो. वो 35 ही हो.
हाइट देख के बात कर।
अब बॉडी शेविंग पेट तक नहीं रहती ना ठीक आ जाओ फिर दिया तो था देखो